My man. No, I definitely appreciate you taking the time to chop it up. And of course, first and foremost, let's just dive into it. Where and when did you learn most of your real estate knowledge?
Hey, you know what? For me, it was something that my grandfather instilled in me when I was younger. Grandpa was always telling me that if I ever came into money, being in New York City, invest in parking lots, invest in real estate, and lastly, he said, I need to invest in funeral homes because he basically said, people always need a place to park in New York. He said that real estate people always need a place to live, and he said basically people die every day, man. It's money, that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I personally, I always try to make sure that I invest in things that I know I use personally. I know just outside of real estate, just in stocks alone, I invest in like Nestle because I love Poland Spring Water.
Mm-hmm.
I like Dove soap, so I invested in Unilever. Everyone buys Jordans, so I of course have Nike
Of
stock,
course.
and I also I have stock in waste management
Yeah.
because unfortunately it's one thing we're always going to produce
For
waste.
me,
So I made sure that
for me, I
yeah.
always wanted to go, based off of being brought up and born and raised in New York City. Um, from my childhood, we never owned. I never went to a family member's home and they actually owned a home. I ended up going to, places where we was renting and none of those was home. It was always apartment buildings, complex and different stuff like that. So for me, it was like as a kid, we always talked about the big house with the white picket fence and, two kids and a dog and so on. And what I asked is, when did that dream stop? When did that dream die? So I went into college and so on with full intentions on buying my mom and dad a house, of full intentions on having something to pass down to my children. So when my grandfather instilled all those things in me early, I was just like, yeah, like this is what it is. Think back in the day when we talk about, it was a song, Papa was a Rolling Stone. And when he died, how'd it go? All he left us was alone. Was that alone? Was that he left us alone? It was, I used to break that stuff down when I was young. I'd be like, man, so hold up. Because usually when people pass away, now we end up owing bills and everything else and so on. How are we going to switch the narrative and so on and start thinking about not just about now, but our legacies?